Vaping. A swirl of fine particles that can be odorless, even invisible. Unregulated and, until recently, thought harmless.
I mean, you're seeing kids that are unable to breathe.
Oh, yeah.
That are needing medical assistance.
Absolutely, immediate.
During the day.
And it's very scary for all of us.
This school year alone, paramedics have rushed to this Forsyth County high school 6 times.
You know, you have to lock your school down. In the medical community, time is everything.
It's the kind of scene Superintendent Jeffrey Bearden wants to avoid. The district is one of 5 in Metro Atlanta that has increased penalties for vaping, now in automatic suspension, especially when it includes THC.
But it only turns the pink color if there is THC present.
School resource officers have started testing confiscated vape equipment, and there is plenty of it.
I mean, are you finding vapes with THC in them?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We've already had 2 confirmed cases already this year.
2 at this school, but 20 cases district-wide. And each case represents a student suspended, some sent to an alternative school.
You like it, you want to do it again.
This senior was one of them. He says his grandfather vapes.
So I never saw it as something more than just help for addiction. But when I saw people doing it, I was like, hey, what's the big deal with it? Not that it would make me cool, but to see what a buzz was like, because I was interested.
Speaking candidly but anonymously, I asked these high school students to tap their foot if they knew any student that vaped or was addicted to nicotine.
You know, like anything else that becomes popular, everyone wants to try it.
They'll do it in the hallways, they'll do it in the middle of class.
Apparently vaping and not getting caught is part of the rush.
If you do it, like, you're cool, like, because the school says so much of, like, don't do it, so, like, they do it.
But before you pass this off as a Forsyth County problem, look at the spike in tobacco-related offenses, most due to vaping, at all of Metro Atlanta's largest school districts. 3 districts even told me they've had to confiscate e-cigarettes from a student in an elementary school.
Every day we're learning more and more about the long-term side effects of...
That's why some school districts have turned to their own students to convince classmates not to vape. From PSA competitions...
My chest started hurting.
...to a near-death experience.
My eyes felt like they were beating out of my head.
Paulding County high school student London Davis openly talks about the day paramedics had to rush him to the hospital.
Then I started having seizures, and eventually my heart stopped.
Still, his story is not enough. Paulding has already disciplined 98 middle and high school students this year. Students say they are well aware of the risks. They know about the deaths, 18 of them so far. They know about the 1,000+ confirmed and probable illnesses related to vaping, 24 of those here in Georgia. They know one Juul pod contains as much nicotine as an entire pack of cigarettes, and that the teenage brain is more susceptible to addiction. They also know it can lead to a lack of impulse control, focus, and mood disorders.
We've been being told about addiction since 6th grade in health.
And does that make any difference?
A lot of people have that belief that they're invincible.
None of these students say they vape right now, but at least one admits she might someday.
I don't know, I just don't want to feel like out of place.
If that kind of honesty makes you cringe, fix it. These teens say this one is up to the adults. Change the marketing of vaping, cut off the supply, regulate the industry.
The marketing around vaping has been from the very beginning, safe alternative, flavors that are appealing to young people. All those things mask the dangers.
In the past 3 years, the FDA has issued 80 warning letters to Georgia retailers caught selling e-cigarette products to minors. We mapped the locations, and about a third are within a half mile of a school.
Were your Juul pods?
You got your ID on you?
Yeah.
The Reveal sent an 11 Alive employee that looked underage to stores in Fulton and Cobb counties to see who would sell her vape juice without an ID.
Can I see your ID?
Yes.
You look, honestly, you look about 16.
Really?
Yes, really.
This one, just blocks away from Sprayberry High School, seemed to learn its lesson after getting busted by the FDA in 2017.
Hello. I'm just looking for some Juul pods.
Because our buyer was asked for ID as soon as she walked in the door. In fact, all of the vape shops refused to sell to her.
Okay, well, I don't have my ID.
I can't sell it.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
This vape shop manager says he cards everyone.
We ask for ID for every customer that comes in, regardless of age, even if it's blatantly apparent. It's just safer to play it that way.
His shop is in Smyrna, a city that voted to raise the legal age to buy any nicotine product to 21 next year.
I think it's going to help. I think it's going to be a lot easier for places like gas stations who are selling those devices to be able to tell when someone's a little bit underage.
But it's unclear if some of those gas stations even care.
Can I have the mint then? Mint. How much are these ones?
This one is $16.99.
Okay.
They didn't even ask. It seemed very nonchalant.
Yeah, can I have the pineapple?
He just, took my money.
These teens say none of it matters.
I mean, everyone knows someone that's over 18.
18 is an adult, but like a lot of these kids that are buying it are just friends. They don't think of them as like an adult figure.
And there are always online sales where all you have to do is check a box claiming to be over 18 to buy.
It's so readily available.
There are a lot of school districts that don't want to talk about this. Why are you willing to?
Well, it's a national epidemic, and I think the best way to combat this issue is to have a community conversation around it.
A conversation that cuts through the haze before a hit on a vape pen stops another heart, but one this teen is grateful he is alive to remember.
That's the day I'll never forget.